Hi, it's Steve Foltz again. I wanted to talk with you a little bit today about employee theft. It's a topic that's not discussed very often, but it is something that most people, if you've owned a business for any amount of time, you've had to deal with this issue. How are you protecting yourself, your business, your people from employee theft? And I hate to make assumptions, but being around a while, it happens to everybody. I don't know many people who've not had an important employee or key employee or an employee in general that's stolen from them. Most people that have a business will end up having to deal with that. It happened to me. It happened to me from a person that I would never have dreamed. The person had long tenure with my companies. The person had too much autonomy. The person could make choices for several years, and I'm sure it was just tempting. The person got in a situation and hurt people. And when things get tight and tough, sometimes humans make choices that's not in line with their character, and that's exactly what happened in my situation. When it was basically known and proven, I had to do something about it. Some of the other employees knew it, and so I couldn't just stand around. I confronted the person, and the person did admit to it, but only a portion. We found out, and that's normally the case, we found that it was much greater than what we had thought. Looking back, I had to press charges. The person was dismissed, had to press charges, and that person was convicted. So I hated to do that, but I had to do that to prevent the person from doing it from somebody else as well. I'm sure you've got your own story, and you may have handled it way better than I did. I think we can all learn from each other. It's a phenomenon that goes on probably every day. I hate to admit that, but it's not a good situation. I know for me, I try to learn from everything that happens, good, bad, indifferent. We try to do some reviews. And after that situation, I put some systems in place that should have been in place. There was just an inordinate amount of trust in this person, and should have never happened. So I take responsibility for letting happen what happened. I dealt with it. I've learned from it. And moving forward, we made a lot of changes. So, I'm sure it all depends on the number, the value, but still at the end of the day, it's not a good precedent when somebody takes something that's not theirs. And sometimes it's easy to hide that in business. So just a quick checkup, think through your processes. Do you have any holes in it? Are you vulnerable in some areas? And if so, let's talk about it, or you can talk about it with your team, make some changes to prevent it from happening in the future. If you want to talk, you know how to get me. You got the email there. You've got the phone number. You've got a Calendly link. I'd love to talk with you and hear how you might have handled something that we can all learn from each other. So if you want to talk through anything, get in touch with me. I look forward to connecting. This whole issue of employee theft is probably it's a bigger issue than what we want to talk about. It's one of those things that we don't talk about until it happens to you. And then you can't believe it. I was shocked. I was hurt. I was all the gamut of emotions, that go through. You try to treat your people the best you can, then you find out how some people take that. And, I've heard a guy say business would be really fun if it didn't involve people. But as you know, you don't have a business without people. So it can be our most important asset, but it can also be a biggest hindrance. So there's a lot to be said about getting the right people in the right places in your company. So reach out, let's talk, let's go from there. Make it a great day.